In the Visual Force page, if you want to read the data from UI, we used to take apex input text, apex input checkbox, input text area. Like this, we have input components with the help of which we are trying to read the value. Similarly, in the Lightning, how to create the UI components. Similarly, in the Lightning, how to create the UI components, how to read the data from the UI components using the client-side scripting. That's what we are going to learn. So, first, let us go to the component reference guide. Let us go to the component reference. We are going to learn about input. When you are going to learn about input component, before I get into this input component, we already seen how to create a lightning component. We already seen how to create a lightning component. So let us see how to create an input, embed this input components on the top of lightning card. First, when I say input, what type of input values we are going to have? We are going to have the basic inputs like date format, date and time, time format, color, text, email. Let us take basic formats of input. Okay. If you want to take the basic format of input components, let us take this lightning component. Input example I was giving lightning input, label, last, lightning input, label, then I was giving lightning input, label, date of birth, type, lightning input, label, time, type equal to lightning input, label, type equal to lightning input, label, phone, type equal to phone. We are looking at the basic formats. We are looking at the basic format. So, what was that? Anyway, I have not closed it. Phone not closed. Then I have taken lightning input, label, and type equal to what type of field is this? Is it a text field, date field, date and time, email, phone number? What type of field is this? Now, what I was doing here, I was supposed to include this in the lightning application. Input example. Your application extends force SLDS. Have a preview. Now look at the format. Basically, the first one is text. Both of them are text. Date of birth. We had a calendar. We had a time. Email. phone number, this is ID. So we have taken last name, first name, date of birth, time, email, phone. So we have taken the UI elements: input, type, text, input, type, date, input, type, date and time, input, type, time, input, type, email, input, type, phone number. Are you getting my point here? So basic structure we have taken. When you are trying to understand the basic structure, we have the options here: date, time, color. If you go with the color, they'll give an option. Let us see. This also will complete here. You give the option, whichever the color I was selecting, the color style we are getting here. Are you getting my point? You are able to choose the color. Whichever the color we choose, that color we want to apply on the output screen. Now, based on this color, I want to change the background. Based on this color, I want to change the text. Based on this color, I want to change the image of the color of the image. So, I can apply. So, we are asking the user to enter the inputs here. At the same time, we are going to take next one here: text, email, password. When is a password? Again, what was that? Star, star, star. When it's a password, we can say star, star, star. When it's a password, we can say star, star, star. Now, when you are making a password, look at the point. I am making a password here. Let us say input type password. Input type is password, and I told it is a required. Reading a star mark here. Required to indicate that field is required. Okay. Then at the same time, we are going to have the next one. Now, right. We have the next one here: URL input. What is the URL input? It is expecting you to enter the URL. It is expecting you to enter the URL of the page. Type equal to URL. Expecting you to type the URL. Now, type equal to number. Now, type equal to number. It is expecting a numerical value. If you want to enter the numerical value, then we will go for type equal to number. Type equal to checkbox. Type equal to checkbox. Type equal to checkbox group. You have a group of checkboxes. Any one of the values should be selected. We'll be seeing them. These are the advanced functionalities. We'll see them down the line. Okay. Basically, we are trying to create basic inputs here. Input, type, text. Input, type, date. Input, type, date and time. Input, type, date, email, phone, right, password. These are the basic what we are going to get. These are the basic things what we are going to get. Basic things what we are going to get. Okay. Now, once you have created this, what are the elements you have given? Label will be displayed on the top. Type. What type of element is this? Now, in the VF page, what are you going to do? In the VF page, you are going to say apex pay, apex input, text, value equal to. Now, what does it mean? Whatever the value we entered here, that is stored to the variable called name. But here in the Lightning, we don't have that variables. So what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to store the data to an attribute. Whatever the data entered, I want to read the data, store the data to the attributes of the component. So create a component with attributes and whatever the data we entered, store the data to the attributes of the component. I hope you got my point. Clear? Okay. So let us go back to the next example. I was giving Yura attribute name equal to video. Then I'm giving lightning part. Then I give lightning input type equal to text. If I don't mention anything, by default it's a text only. If I don't mention anything, by default it's a text only. Value equal to v dot name. Whatever the value we entered here, that will be stored to the name attribute called name. Whatever the value we entered here will be stored to the attribute name. Lightning input type equal to value equal to. So what was the condition here? Whatever the data we are entering in the input components, the data we are storing to attributes of the component. So in the input, whatever the value entered, that is stored to attribute name. Whatever the age I entered, it is stored to attribute age. Let me add this one to lightning application.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, the one request from my side, why you are changing every time the link? Because sometimes what happen,
Anyhow,
I'm just
discuss these things at the end
trying
of
to
the
call.
class. Right. Can we
Okay,
discuss at the class instead of
okay,
stopping in
sir.
the middle of the class? Right.
Okay, okay, not an issue.
Input example. So now we are supposed to apply extends force SLUs. So have a preview. Then we have created a lightning card. We have created a lightning card. Student, enter name, enter age. So now this is how we are creating page. But if you look at this, I don't want the entire page to be occupied. I don't want entire page to be occupied. I don't want this component to occupy the entire page. What I do, wherever I add this component, as per the space availability of that, okay, wherever I'm adding, as per the slot of that slot available on the page, the component will be expanded. Now this will be auto adjusted based on the space at which we are adding it. Now you want to control it, you can apply CSS. We can apply CSS and control it. We can apply CSS and control it. Right. So what we have taken, we got a lightning card, title, subtitle. Okay, title we got, icon we got. Then we had enter name, enter age. I hope you are good with this. I hope you are good with this. Now what I want you, in the last class we already seen, when you click on a button, how to call a client-side controller. In the last class already we have seen, when you click on a button, how to call a client-side controller. How to read the value of an attribute? Component dot get v dot attribute name. How to set the value of an attribute? Component dot set v dot attribute comma value. I hope you are good with this. Now, with the help of last class and the current class, let us try to design this example. Now, let us take a basic example. It is a lightning cord. Calculator. So let us make it simple one. So when I click on the add, sum of these two values should be printed. When I click on multiply, multiplication of A and B values should be performed. Now write a code to handle this. Right? People are waiting for whom? Start ready. Start designing this. All of you start designing. So how many attributes you require for this example? You require 3 attributes. How many methods you require? 2 methods. We require 3 attributes, 2 methods. Right. Now, what was the design? Lightning cord, icon, title, then Yura set attribute equal to actions. In the action, we are supposed to use button group. In the button group, we are going to take buttons. In the button group, we are going to take buttons. Till whatever the extent you can write, make an attempt of writing. From your end to whatever the extent you can write, make an attempt of writing. So let us try to create lightning component. Raw attribute. Raw attribute. This is how I will. Now we are going with lightning cord. How do you create a lightning cord? Lightning cord, title, calculator, icon name. Now the basic structure I have created. So what you are supposed to do now? What you are supposed to create the action. Create the action for the lightning cord. How do you create an action? You are set attribute equal to actions, then define it. Start defining the buttons now. Start defining. Don't be in hurry in copying the things. Right. Now, what you are supposed to do? You are set attribute. Then I gave lightning. Should I give a button or button group? Button group. Then the lightning button group. I'm taking lightning label. Lightning button. Now you're supposed to define an actions, right? So when you click on add, on a click, see dot. This is how we create. So we have got button 2. Then what you are supposed to do? Take 3 values. How are you taking? Lightning input label equal to if we give it as a type equal to number, really it doesn't make a difference actually. Lightning. So I gave this is what I gave. Now let me add this one to application and see. Right. Till here everyone is good? Right? Okay. Add this one to application. Lighting application. Extends. The extends. I want to display in the input box, boss. What is the problem with that? Force SLDS. Input example. This is how I give. So let me have a preview first. This is what I give. So it is utility there is no calculator symbol. If you want to find the icons, how do you find out? Lighting design system. In the lighting design system, you want to go with icons. Then the utility, I want to go with utility. In the utility, what you are finding here, anywhere calculator symbol. Right, okay. Just give some symbol, I'll give it. Go back to the structure. This is how we got it. So we got here required symbol. This is how we got the structure. So enter A value, enter B value, result. Now wherever I embed, automatically this component will be auto adjust. Okay, auto layout. Then what is that? When I click on the add, I want to perform the add action. When I click on the multiply, I want to perform the multiply action. Now let us go back to this controller. When I go to controller, we had call. How do you read the values? Where the value equal to component dot get v dot where v value equal to component dot get v dot. Now where result equal to a value plus component dot, but still it gives us string plus string it give you. We need to convert it into integer. Let me show you. Component dot set v dot c value right. Okay, now I need to give okay. Now The same function, one more I want to call multiply. Component dot given dot. The same story is repeating. Only the difference is multiplication. Okay. Now I need to make some changes on the component. What are the changes I have to make? Input label type required value equal to v dot. Now I have to associate the input with the attributes. V dot C. Are you getting my point? The input elements which I have taken, I associated these elements with the attributes. So whatever the value we are going to enter in this input component, it is assigned to the attribute C. Then go back to the application, review. So what we are getting here? It is taking like a string. It is taking like a string. What we are supposed to do? Go to the controller, convert the string into integer. Parse. So when you are reading the component dot input, it is giving like a string value. Even though I gave number, it is giving like a string value. So I was converting. So when I reading the value, this is how we are getting the operation, right, boss? Basic, simple calculator we are making. I hope you are good with this. So how are you making? Now, when you are taking as an input, irrespective of whether I have defined integer and type, it is taking the value as what? String only. Then we can reduce the code here, right? We can reduce the code here. So what I am taking here? I have taken 3 attributes: A value, B value, C. Whatever the elements I am entering in the input, those are stored to the attributes. When you click on the button, I am going to the client side controller, performing the operation, setting the value of C. Have you followed this example? Have you followed this example? Right. How are you going to read the value? Component dot get A dot attribute. Sorry, B dot attribute. Component dot get V dot attribute. Component dot get V dot attribute. I hope you are good with this. Everyone is good. Shall we try one more example? Can we try it? Okay. So let us do the next example.
Satish, before we move to next example, why do we use aura set there? Aura set.
Now, how do you set the action, Sama? Now, I want to give an action. I cannot give an actions here, no, like this. Can you create buttons like this? Can you create buttons like this? It is not possible, right? When you want to take anything other than string, what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to use your set attribute. Anything other than string you want to take, you have to assign the value of the attribute by using what? Your set attribute equal to so much. I hope you are good. Got my point?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Now, let us move on to the next example. These basic examples, just do this example. Create a component. Create a component. Yes, Amma.
Yeah. So I wrote the same code like for addition and multiplication. So for addition only the values are coming as a string, but for multiplication it's working as expected without using parsing. What is the difference between these two operations?
Come again. Unless you parse it, without parsing you are getting the value.
Yeah, without parsing also for multiplication I am getting the value.
You remove the type equal to number there.
Okay.
But it's because we are taking to the script format, it will take always as a text. Not only here, even the JavaScript you take anywhere, they always when you take the value, read the values from the JavaScript, it will take like a text one.
Yeah, it's working even if I remove type equal to number.
You are supposed to, it's not supposed to. What is the first component you have created? Amount type equal to your attribute. Attribute name equal to yes, and we have your attribute decimal point. So till here it's okay. But if you look at this, we have a lightning rod title. We have two things. It is not a single element. It is a two elements. If you have two elements in the title, what you are supposed to do? Lightning rod. The icon is consumer only, right? Or you have taken the earlier? Company you can take. Okay. Now, set. Please mute your mics. Attribute equal to. So I have lightning card, set attribute title, ICICI Bank, interest calculated. So let us see the output till here. So the first thing, why are you giving this extends force SLDS? Whenever we use any lightning namespace element, components of lightning colon, from the namespace of lightning, if you are using any components, predefined components, if you want that standard CSS to be applied, we need to give force SLDS. This is how we got here, title and subtitle. Okay. Now look at the further. Is the settings are applied properly? They are not applied properly. I just gave it, but they are not applied. If you want to give it, what should I do? Again, go for the CSS. Okay. Now let us go back. Now I gave ICSA interest character. Then what you are supposed to do? You are set attribute equal to actions. You are lightning button label equal to submit. Not click. Do you want to create a button or button group? If you want to create a button group, you can give it, or else you can give us 2 individual buttons. Now let us go with the button group so that we can practice 2 elements. Lightning button. Okay. C dot calculate. So we have given URA set title, URA set action. When I said URA set action, this is how we got here. So we got title, we got action. Lightning card, icon, title, action. Now, as somebody has asked me previously, why did you use URA set? Now here, in the title I was taking 2 elements. Here also I have used URA set. If you want to take other than string value, other than a single string value, if you want to take, you will go with the URA set. Then what we are supposed to do? Okay. Lightning input. True. What is the value? I think input. Required label. This is how I create. Right? Now this is URA set title, URA set action, then the input elements. Go back and see the structure what I received. So we got here lightning card, title, action, and the input elements. So in this case, when I click on the button, what are you supposed to do? Calculate. Go to the controller, where amount. How do you read the value? Component dot rate equal to where interest equal to amount rate. Yes. How are you setting? Component dot set p dot test. Now we told console dot log this is how I give, right, boss? Basically reading the value, calculating the value, and printing the value. Go back to the structure. So we have received the value. So there, without parsing, if it is a concatenation plus operator, it is taking like a text. Rather than the concatenation, if you are using, you are taking straight away value, right? Right, boss? Somebody has asked you the same question, right? Okay. If it is a concatenation, the plus sign, concatenation is taking like a text plus text. It's taking like a text and giving it. But when you're going for a multiplication without parsing, we are able to achieve it. Previously, we done parse int. If it is not a plus concatenation, apart from plus symbol, if you are using any other, straight away it's able to achieve it. Okay. Next. But there should not be there should be common data. We got it's working for this. Let me find out the reason. Okay. Then what is the next one we had? Call. When you call me, function, component, event. So what you are supposed to do? Component dot set v dot component dot set. We are setting the value. So basically, when you click on the button, what is the action you want to perform? We are trying to do it. Right. We're setting up the value. Basic structure is clear for everyone. So we are taking a input elements, taking the values, storing them to the attributes. Then when you click on the button, we are going to the client side controller, reading the value from the attributes, performing the action what you want to perform. I hope you are good with this example. Am I clear? Am I clear with this? Okay. Now I have a quick action. Till here everyone has got the story? Everyone is yes.
Quick doubt.
1 minute.
So in place of
1 minute.
yeah, sure.
Pardon, if you give 0, it will give 0. Now we need to give two parameters. Numerical values, how will you make it as numerical values? Is it a blank or a null? When you take a numerical value, is it a blank or a null? You are giving a null. That's why I said null. Right? Yes. Go ahead, Amma. Online.
So
Someone
in
from online.
place, in amount field, if we give the string, what will happen?
Right?
Okay.
Okay. Now let us move on. We are trying to take the next example. Here my context is, I have a group of buttons. When I have a group of buttons, how do you recognize which button you clicked? Now I have a group of buttons. How do you recognize which button you clicked? Now let us take a quick example here. I hope this is clear for everyone, right? Okay. Now try to understand this example, everyone. I guess I have created two examples on the buttons. Yeah. Now I created lightning button label equal to. Generally in the Visual Force, how do you give ID? How do you give ID? Am I right? This is how you give it. But in the lightning, ID will be given like this. Ura ID. Ura colon ID. The name of the button. On click. Right. Next I have lighting. Cancel. Raw ID. I am calling the same function. In three cases I give. In the three cases I give the same. So label, ID, name, button. In all the three cases, what is the action I give? Call. Now let me create a lightning application. I'll go to controller. In the controller, we are calling right. When you click on the button, I want to get on which button you clicked. So we are going to say where element equal to event dot get the source from where the event find. When you click on the button, it's an event. So get the source from where the event find. Console.log get the local ID. Which once you got the source, now we are trying to get ID of the element on which the event occurred. Event dot get source. Get the source of the element from where the event occurred. Then get the ID of the element. Then at the same time, I want to know console.log name of the element. The element on which the event occurred, get the value of the name. Did you get the point here? What is the first line? element where the event fired. Get the ID of the element. Where the event fired. Name of the element. So go to the application. So what is that? 1 ID 1 name equal to first button. Okay, ID 1 name equal to first button. That's what I gave. ID equal to 1 name equal to first button. 2 second button. 3 third button. Are you able to get? We are able to get the ID of the element. We are able to get the name of the element. So now what is the advantage of knowing this? What is the advantage of knowing on which element the event occurred? What is the advantage of knowing on which element the event occurred? We just done the previous example. We have done the previous example of calculator. Now we had then I gave here. Now, in both the case, we are going to read the value of A, we are going to read the value of B. Now, if you clicked on add, button, know the name of the button on which you clicked. If it is add, result equal to A value plus B value. If the button what you clicked is multiply, then okay, get the name of the button. If it is multiply, then A value into B value. Get the name of the button. If it is reset, okay, set the value. So I am able to achieve everything in a single function. Now find out the button on which the event occurred. Get the source, get the name of the button. Then if it is add, you are adding 2. If it is multiply, you are multiplying 2. If it is reset, resetting the 2. I hope you got my point. Okay, achieve the same example within a single function. Create this example with the help of button. Now what I want, when you click on the button, the name of the button should come. In all the 3 cases, what is the function we are calling? I don't want to create 3 functions. When you click on any one of these buttons, the function that should be called is call me. For all the 3 buttons, what is the action? Call me only. You click any button, action is call me only. When you call the call me, find out the source of the button from where the event is fired. If it is fired because of clicking add, get the name. It is add. Then A value plus B value. If the source is multiply, get the A value into B value. Are you getting my point? Previous example, what we have done? Separate function for add, separate function for multiply, separate function for reset. Now what I am asking you to do, implement a single method. In that method, in that function, find out which button you clicked. As per that value, perform the action. Is that was clear? Right. Implement this example, all of you. Implement this example, all of you. Yes.
Okay, I have a quick question.
Go ahead, Amma.
Okay, so now you in the Java controller, the client-side controller, you are passing the 3 things: component, event, and helper. And you are trying to slowly introduce the method get by ID, get by name, element, so component dot get, component dot set. So how can I find out the various functions that are supported for that?
How do you find out various functions?
various methods that are available for component, event, helper.
You want to say auto help, right?
Yeah, auto help.
Auto
Yeah.
help. When you go to SFDX, you will get it. Here you will not be getting it. You will not be getting here. When you go to SFDX, you will be getting it. But directly, if you are doing in the Lightning, you will not be getting here. But if you are doing from SFDX, you will be getting it.
Okay, but if I go to the Lightning data system, can I see the various methods for component, event, and helper?
See,
Component library.
now the point here is, if you created a component, what are the, whether you use it or not, all the set of bundle will be created. Okay, you want to know what are the predefined functions are there, predefined events are there, auto help you call it as. That will be available to you on the SFDX, not on the component. The custom components what you created, for those custom components, what are the actions you created, that you will not be knowing it, you have to manually check it.
That's why, like, where can I check manually? Is that available in the Lightning data system, a component library, what you are referring for Lightning
No.
button, Lightning input?
See, now let's make very simple. Let's make the question straight away. Okay. Now, if I understood well, if I have Lightning input, you want to know what are the attributes for this component, what are the events are available for this component. Am I right?
Other way around, like in the client-side controller, you are passing for a method name, event, component.
See, you will not get any help, auto help there. You have to go and check it, check each and everything. In
Okay,
Lightning,
like to check is what I'm
you in Lightning, you will
where
not
to
get,
check.
you will not get it. You will not get any auto help here. You have to manually check it, manually go and verify everything what you want to use it. Okay, but
No, I'm sorry. Yeah,
document
because I'm
Lightning.
not clear on that. But
See,
what I want is do we have documentation for the methods that are offered for component, event, helper somewhere in Google or somewhere?
that's what I was trying to convey. It was, if you are taking any particular functionality, like I told you, Lightning input. I gave an example like Lightning input. Okay. Similarly, you will be having URA event. You want anything on the URA event, you need to go for it. So if you want to go for the documentation, standard documentation, that was your question. That's what I conveyed. If you want to know the attributes and events and standard documentation, Lightning component reference. Component reference. There is no auto help provided. You need to go through the documentation and see what are the standard elements are here, what are the standard actions are here. Okay. I hope you got my point. Right. Chill. Now, start building this one. People make an attempt of creating by watching, you don't get it. People always love to watch and sit. Make an attempt of creating. So how you are defined it? First you are given era attribute. We are taking.
Without attributes, Satish, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so without attribute, can't we pass the value to the controller JS?
You can pass it, Amma. That is with the help of IDs. We'll be covering the next examples. The next topic will be the same.
Okay, So the attribute name and so we are using the value property, right? So will it be the same?
That's what I told. Next concept I'm going to cover the same. When I'm doing it, you will be understanding it.
Okay.
And what you are supposed to do? You are set attribute. Why I'm not taking attribute equal to title here? Only single element I want. If you want to take more than one element, I'll go for. Then I need to go lightning. You want to take ID or name, any one will be sufficient for you. Either you can take ID or you can take name. Because to tell you both the formats, I am taking both. One will be sufficient for us. One will be sufficient for us. No need to take both, any one will be sufficient. No need to take the both, any one will be sufficient. Then how are you defining the action? Then we had like value equal to value equal to I have given the basic structure. So we have entered the basic structure. Then what we are supposed to do? Control. In the controller, first let me give where it equal to. I can also get where name equal to get source dot get source dot get. In a single line you can write it. Get source, from the source get. If you're not comfortable. Right. Now let me give you basic structure. In the JavaScript, all the variables are referred as var. Okay. If name equal to capital add. Let me give basic structure. Else if name equal to multiply so dot log else console dot log this is what I was giving. If name equal to add, do this. else if name equal to multiply, do this, else this is the structure. Just we want to know whether it is working properly or not. Right. So how do you do that? I hope people are good with if else, right? Okay. Now let us go to Lightning application. This is how I get. Right, boss. So we are getting the operation. Right? We are able to recognize which event has occurred. We are able to recognize which event has occurred. Now, what is the operation we are supposed to perform, boss? Where a value equal to component dot b value equal to then I told because it's a concatenation, I am supposed to give parse it. Component dot set p dot 0. Now, once I entered the C value, I was supposed to set the value. Can I keep a floor bracket now? Component dot set p dot C value. This is how I give. So we are able to achieve everything in a single set. Boss, when the event occurred, find out what is the event that occurred, on which button the event occurred. If the name equal to add, perform the action. Name equal to multiply, perform this action. If other, reset the value. I hope you are good with this. So what I am doing, instead of defining 3 different independent actions, I was performing the entire operation in a single function based on the button which I clicked. Based on the button which I clicked. I hope you are good with this example. Right, boss? I hope you are good with this example. So how do you recognize which button we clicked? Event dot get source. Then we know the element on which the event occurred. That element ID or that element name. We can get the name of the element or the element ID. We can get the ID of the element or we can get the name of the element. So if you want to get the ID, how do you get it? EVT dot get local ID. Any one. Name or Either name or ID should be taken for operation. Any one will be sufficient. I hope you are good with this example. Okay. Now, till now, whatever the examples I have done here, I have taken input elements and I stored the values in the attributes. Now, I want to read the values from the input elements without attributes. When I click on the button, whatever the values I entered in the input components, that value should be passed to JavaScript without attributes. Without using the attribute values, how can we transfer the data from input components to the JavaScript? That is the next concept what we are going to learn. Okay. So